Hi everybody! I get asked this question so frequently that I thought I would make a video on the topic. The question is, if I use food to train my dog, especially if I put the food down on the floor, will it teach my dog to scavenge for food when out and about on a walk, off-leash or on-leash? And my answer is that without any prior training, nearly every dog is going to want to eat food that they see or smell when out and about on a walk. And so what you really need to do is train your dog what you do want him to do when he sees or smells food when out on a walk. But usually when we're walking our dogs, we don't see that food that they're after or sniffing for. We might just think they're sniffing, another dog's pee, and then, oh, they're suddenly eating something. So the best way to train this is in training sessions. So I like to train my dogs a default leave it when they see or smell food when out and about, and then in training sessions, it's very clear to the dog that the treat is meant to be eaten because I click or I say yes, and then they get the treat, so they know because they've heard the marker that it means it's okay to eat the treat. Or if I have food on the floor, I can say get it, or the reason that the dog knows they're able to get it is a throwing gesture. So if you were worried about a throwing gesture, you could simply say get it before you threw the treat to the ground. Now, there are a lot of people that don't want to put treats on the ground, and that is okay, or perhaps they don't even want to use treats to train, and that's perfectly fine. They can use some other sort of reinforcer, but they're still going to need to train their dogs not to go after the food when out and about on a walk. Most people feed their dogs their meals on the floor. So basically, the difference between food out and about on a walk and when they eat food in their home on the floor is that it's in a bowl and it's presented at specific times that are dinner time or breakfast, and the dog understands the concept that this food is okay to eat and the food out there on a walk isn't. So we can teach our dogs to see the differences in these situations, and I'm going to show you a video of my own dog where I throw a treat and he sees the treat and I say get it, and he goes for the right treat and he doesn't eat the food that's laying in the environment that I didn't throw. So there's the bone. Halo, get it. Good boy. Get it. Sit. Get it. Go get it. Okay, get it. Good job. Good boy. Come here, Halo. Hi. This is to prove that dogs trained with treats don't just learn to pick up crap out of the ground because of it. Hey, Halo. In fact, quite the opposite. The way that I like to teach a default leave it is having the dog on a leash and harness and placing food quite far away from the dog, maybe 10 feet away in the same room, and then you're going to mark and reinforce your dog for turning away from the food and looking at you. This can be done easily by using low-value food, such as kibble or something your dog's not really interested in, and having a high-value reinforcer. So when the dog turns away from whatever it is, then they get something even better, and you can quickly get to the point where your dog is completely ignoring whatever it is on the ground, and as your dog succeeds, you can get closer to whatever it is. You can also add a verbal cue, such as leave it, that you can say in a positive tone of voice. So if your dog is extremely interested in a specific item of food on the ground, you can cue your dog to leave it if he starts sniffing in that direction. The more default leave it games you play with your dog, the easier it will be for him in real life situations. This is my own opinion based on my own experiences, but I find that by using food in a variety of different ways in training and using a variety of different types of food, it actually makes the dogs less excited about novelty food. So if you use chicken and beef and special dog treats that are really smelly fish, that your dog is going to be less likely to be so obsessed with the idea of going and picking up food that he might find in the environment, because his needs are satisfied by the variety of food that you're using in training sessions. Whereas if you're not using a variety of different treats to train your dog, or you're not using treats at all, and your dog rarely gets treats, and then he finds this amazing find while out and about on a walk, and he's able to quickly eat it before you can get to him or tell him to drop it or leave it, that's going to be highly reinforcing because it's extremely novel, and it might make the dog want to search for food more. So I actually would suggest to a client who has a dog that's obsessed with searching for food to start working with different variety of treats and using food on the floor, especially working on a default leave it from food on the floor. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to channel Kikopup for more free professional dog training videos. Bye!